Please be advised that Little Miss Recap contains adult language.
I'm off to Chile with Rally International, doing an expedition with them. I wanted to do something constructive in my gap year rather than, I could do quite a lot of work, but I thought this was a bit more of a way of trying to help people out and meet a whole range of other different people from different countries, and at the same time helping people in remote areas of Chile. I raised the money. I organised a water polo match and got sponsors and did the money that way. And I also raised money for a disadvantaged person to come on the expedition with me.
How much did you raise?
I raised myself about £5,500.
And did your father chip in as well?
You might have helped slightly, not very much. So
I chip in all the bloody time.
Hi everyone, welcome to Little Miss Recap, the podcast where we also look down on people who throw public fits in libraries.
Yes. No one should throw a fit in a library.
Don't yell at somebody in a library.
No.
Library's like the sweetest
spaces.
place on earth.
Yeah. No, nothing bad can happen in a library. Well, I mean,
Did you
bad.
watch You?
I know, I was going to say.
Oh, that was a bookstore. That was a bookstore.
But still, yeah. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
The library can be where Mrs. White kills you with a pipe.
That's true. Colonel Mustard could choke you out in the library.
That's right. Choke you out. I'm doing a very casual rewatch of 6 Feet Under and just watched the episode where the guy died of autoerotic asphyxiation. So choking you out has a whole other meaning for me in my brain.
I am Amy, and I'm here with my friend Amanda, who hopefully I will be meeting in person very soon.
Yes. One day. You can do it.
One day I could do it.
You can do it. We'll have cocktails. It'll be fine.
If you only knew how social I used to be, I would be
know.
out all the time.
Same. It's really
I don't
strange.
know what's happened to me.
I know. I used to have a plan like almost every night.
Yeah.
I used to have to decide to not do things, like to hold space. And now it's like, oh, do I have to?
Do you think it is an after effect, if you will, of the pandemic?
I do. I think a lot of this can be, inertia works either way, right? So if you're in this pattern of going out all the time and being really social, it's just self-reinforcing. Then we stopped. So then we have the inertia of not doing anything and getting started again is hard. We were forced to all slow down. Like we wouldn't have done that on our own. Literally, you just were told you had to stay home.
True.
And everything.
I love being in my house. I'm never bored. I don't feel lonely, even when my kids are gone and Timmy's gone. I never feel lonely.
Okay.
I don't know. I really thrive just being in my house.
By yourself.
Yes. I feel like not to get too much into this, but I feel like the social lives of people have changed in a way, because I was thinking about this. I'm always like, I don't really have a lot of real life friends that I spend quality time with, but here I am connecting with you.
Right. Multiple hours a week.
We're talking several hours a week. I connect with Steph several hours a week. I'm getting that.
Yep.
I'm getting that connection that I need. It's just in a different way. So why does it have to be in a bar? You know what I mean? Or why does it have to be somewhere else?
I spend more social time with you at this point than anyone else other than my husband.
Yeah. And I like it.
I like it too. I'm like, having the best time.
I will be honest. I think if I didn't have the podcast, I would be going a little squirrely. Although I always have my writing, always.
Yeah.
And that's a great creative outlet for me. And I just as an artistic person, I never understand boredom because I'm never bored. Because I'm always like, well, I could sit down and work on my book, or I could do this, or I could do that. But I don't know.
Outside of your job, because you write for your job, how much of your own writing do you do, say, every week?
0.
Oh, okay.
So my writing goes in spurts. It always has.
Okay.
I will give it hell for 6 months working on a book or something. And then I won't write for a year.
Oh, wow.
Like, I might write, like, a poem here or there,
Right.
but I feel like I'm scratching that itch by writing a lot for the podcast. It's
Sure.
giving me a chance to be creative, even though
Right.
it's, like, total trash.
Yeah. It's
Hey, listen, when I'm editing together that Cody Brown intro with the fight,
so good.
I'm expelling a lot of my creative
Of
juices.
course. Of course. And finding the right clip and everything and capturing the water being poured out.
Yes. Like, I still feel like I'm creating content in a
Because
weird
you are.
way. Yeah.
You are. It's important
And of
content.
course, now that I'm working as a writer, I'm doing that a
Right.
lot.
So you have to write all the time regardless.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm always the person who I'm not a methodical writer. Like, I'm not like, okay, I'm gonna draft this out, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. It just spills out of me.
Oh, wow. That's
And I have
awesome.
to play around to fix it,
Okay.
if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
You just get it out of your head and then
mhm,
you do some
mhm.
editing and clean up and all that. But
Yeah.
yeah, that makes
Yep.
sense.
Yep. All right. So, are we ready to
We are
move
ready.
on to The Crown, Season 6, Episode 7, Alma Mater,
Alma mater.
which is a great phrase.
I enjoy that word.
I enjoy it
Phrase.
too. Now, how do you feel about this episode? Because we were saying that the last episode, we were like, eh.
I like getting to know Kate and his school experience and all of that. I am somewhat uncomfortable
With 12-year-old Harry bartender.
well, there's that 12-year-old Harry bartender for sure. But I'm also sort of uncomfortable with the narrative that they're spinning that it was very calculated for Kate to wind up with William.
Yes, yes. And
Feels very
I
weird.
wanted that to be my historical moment. Like, is
Right.
Kate's mom some kind of mini version of Queen Elizabeth, like just deciding who marries who?
Right.
But there were different accounts of that. Like, I really
Mm.
couldn't find that. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know. I thought it was really weird.
Yeah,
We don't know.
it made me a little uncomfortable.
Yeah. Yeah. Like an arranged marriage situation.
Exactly,
Mhm,
exactly. But
mhm.
like a tricked arranged marriage.
Yeah. And if you're going to arrange me a marriage, don't make it with William. Well, then again, he is the
He's gonna
monarch.
be
I
the
keep
king of
forgetting that.
England.
Yeah. But she does bring home this really cute, floppy haired poet that I'm
She
like, he's
does.
the one. He's
He
the one.
but she and William do seem happy.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
make
I
they
guess.
make great looking little kids.
Their kids are beautiful. I agree.
Yes.
All right, so we open and it's Christmas time, and 15-year-old Kate Middleton wants to dress conservatively for a Christmas party, but mom wants her to slut it up. She's like,
Yeah.
you got to be taunting the boys, you got to be showing those legs, flashing some ass,
Yep.
showing your nipples, doing everything. I'm like, whoa,
Oh,
mom.
showing your nipples. Wow, that took a
Mad
turn.
libbing a little bit,
Of
okay?
course. Of course.
Okay. So it's December 1996, and they run into Princess Di and Wills. I love to call him Wills now, selling some magazine on the street, as
Yeah,
you do.
as you do.
Hmm.
I think it was
Hmm.
some charity thing.
It was a charity thing.
Yeah.
Kate has a moment with him, like, oh, let's touch our hands together as I'm grabbing your US Weekly. I don't know what they're doing. And she runs home to cut pics of Will's out of her magazine and stick them to her wall, as you do.
Sure. As you
As you do.
that actually tracked for me completely.
What's the who is I don't know how to phrase this. What celebrity have you met that you were most verklempt? No, it's not the right word. Flustered by.
Mm,
Okay. Like hotness level, like you met somebody and you were like, "Oh my god, I'm losing my mind that I'm meeting this person."
Bill Clinton.
Oh, I met Bill Clinton as well.
Bill Clinton.
His
Yeah, I was
so
like,
Hillary is from Scranton. Her
oh,
grandmother's
yes,
from
yes, yes. I
Scranton.
forgot about that.
And her grandmother lived 2 houses down from where my gram lived.
Oh,
So when
wow.
she died, they had her mass at the church on my gram's street, and they came down in the motorcade and they got out and they shook hands and everybody was lined on the streets. It was really
Wow,
cool.
that is
Yeah.
cool. I
Yeah.
drove in Bill Clinton's motorcade in 1996.
You hussy. What were you doing in that motorcade?
I drove a van that had the nurse that travels with the president
Oh,
at one
okay.
point, and
Okay.
then I switched vans and I wound up in a van with my friend John and
Were
a
you in a
bunch of
van then with
senators.
the Unabomber?
No Unabomber was involved. Lots of senators though.
Okay.
And Secretary of Transportation, I believe.
Mm.
Like head of FEMA was there. Like, it was big people. So there was a flood in northern Washington and no, southern Washington and northern Oregon in
Okay.
Valentine's Day of 1996. And so Bill Clinton was coming with well, we're giving you FEMA money.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All will be
Throw some
okay.
paper towels at people. As you do.
Exactly. And my friend John had just worked on Ron Wyden's campaign,
Mm.
who replaced Bob Packwood when he got kicked out for having an affair.
Yep.
And so they were just looking for people to drive in that motorcade because obviously these things happen like all of a sudden. There's no, it's not like there's days of planning. And so John's like, I know we were going to go to the coast tomorrow, but do you want to drive in Bill Clinton's motorcade? I was like, I think I can pencil that in.
Yeah, yeah.
And so we drove. It was amazing. And at the end, we all got to have a handshake and official White House photo taken with Bill Clinton. I'll have to
That's
find it and
cool.
post it in the group. It
That's
was great.
cool. Did you run home and cut out pictures of him and stick them on your billboards, on your
I did
bulletin boards?
not. I did, however, say to him, Happy Valentine's Day, Mr. President. And please wish Hillary Happy Valentine's Day for me as well.
Okay.
He said yes, he would. Little did I know this was right in the middle of when he was shtupping Monica.
Oh, okay. Well, you
So
didn't know.
there's that. Didn't know.
You didn't know.
Didn't know.
Fun fact.
Yes.
I once wrote Ronald Reagan a fan letter.
Excuse me, what?
I got an autographed picture of him on a horse back. You have to understand. Okay, let me take you back.
My gob, it is smacked. Go on.
Let me take you back to 1984. I
Yes.
am 7.
Okay.
My dad works for the Defense Department.
Okay.
We literally go from having zero money, living in a 1-bedroom apartment, 2-bedroom apartment,
Right.
to my dad having a decent union wage paying job, but that was contingent on the federal budget every year.
Right.
So we would be constantly wanting Reagan to be in office because then my dad would have a job.
Got it.
See how that went? See how that went?
That makes sense then.
Yes. So little Amy was little brainwashed Amy, being told that Reagan was the greatest thing since sliced bread. And I wanted to write President Reagan a letter. So I did.
It's ironic given the shirt you're currently wearing.
Yeah. That's my dark past
Okay.
as a Reaganite.
Okay. Wow.
Okay.
Trickle down
All right.
economics, Amy. That was your thing. 7-year-old Amy really believed it. How did 7-year-old Amy deal with Iran-Contra? Just asking.
I actually remember that whole thing. I
do
remember
too.
watching that. It was wild. And I will just say this, not to belabor the point, but then in 1992, right? That was when Clinton got elected, correct? No, 88, Bush.
88 was
and
Bush.
then 92 was Clinton.
Yep.
I will never forget my dad voting for Clinton, and then 2 years later he got laid off, which was catastrophic for our family financially. And I always thought that that was an interesting and brave choice on his front, that he went in the voting booth, and because he agreed more with Clinton socially,
Right.
he voted for him rather than to protect his own interests, and it really cost him, and he doesn't regret it.
Yeah, well,
So,
good. That's
yeah,
interesting.
I thought that was interesting. And it kind of taught me something, I feel
Sure.
like,
Yeah,
at the
absolutely.
time. Like, there are sometimes more important things than
than your own personal interests.
Yeah. Okay. So Kate has a moment. We said this. She sticks the pictures on her wall. Now Kate's mom comes in and she gives her this little pep talk. And she's like, listen here, girl. I
Get
was
it
a
together.
lonely stewardess, and your dad's family was like friends with the crown, and dad was in the Royal Air Force, or his dad was in the Royal Air Force with Philip. He had flown with Prince Philip. I got real lucky. Then I started the family business, and I started making some mad cash.
Right.
And then I realized your dad should be lucky to be with me. So don't ever think that you are not worth marrying this prince right here that you have up on your board. Now, where was my mother giving me pep talks like this when I had Axl Rose on my board, or Janie Lane, or whoever? Tommy Lee.
Maybe because you had those people, your mother did not give you that speech specifically.
Why didn't my mother ever say, Amy, if you want to marry Tommy Lee, you can do that. You can achieve that. Oh, maybe because he was like 30 and I was like 12. Oh,
there's
mind.
that.
Okay. All right.
Leaked porn tape probably didn't help your case either. Just going out on a limb.
So now it's 1999. It's 3 years later. And we see Will at a rave, and he has to do some press the next day, and he is tired. Hungover,
Mhm.
tired. Harry is out there. He's hating on all the reporters. Harry doesn't give a fuck. He's like, I don't
No.
want to be here. Will has to go out there, though. It's his 18th birthday. He's telling everyone, just leave me the fuck alone. I
Right.
don't know what was happening when I took these notes.
Very 18-year-old. Leave me the fuck alone.
He says, he basically says, I want everyone to leave me the fuck alone while I'm in university. He says he's
I mean,
considering
it's
Edinburgh,
right.
and Kate's mom is watching with her mouth
Oh, yeah.
agape.
Yes. She's like, we're going to
Mm-hmm.
Edinburgh.
Mm-hmm. So now Will's at home with the family, and he's opening up his university exams. And,
Mhm.
Granny can't hear anything. This is what I'm saying. Like, Queen Mom's like, what's going on? What's going on? Margaret's like, shut the fuck up. Like, what
Queen Mom.
has happened here?
Just much like Robin Brown, just stick a mirror under her occasionally, make sure she's still breathing. It's fine.
Okay. So Margaret goes, somebody shoot her. That's what she said about Queen Mom. I'm like, oh my God. So Wills gets like an A, a B, and a C. And then Harry gives him some condoms and makes some real vulgar jokes. This is where I have a problem with the characterization of Harry.
Me too.
Did he
Me
do
too.
some wild shit? Yes. Is all of that
Yeah.
okay? Yes.
Yes.
Was he this kind of an asshole? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't want to think so.
I don't want to think so.
And he was 15
So
then.
yeah. So
Yeah.
William announces that he's going to St. Andrews, but he's taking a gap year. And in that gap
Mhm.
year, he's going to be traveling to places like Botswana and Chile. And we literally see him, like they overdid this. We literally see
Yes.
him cleaning toilets.
Right.
Okay.
And living on
Mhm.
the the plains or
Mhm.
whatever. It was a bit much.
Then we see him at St. Andrews, and he has a bodyguard with him. And even in school, girls are like flocking to him, asking him for autographs. Remember, these are the same girls who wrote a letter saying that his bod was on tight.
After his
They're all
mother
grown
died.
up now. They're ready.
No.
So I wrote,
God is hot and
oh,
tight.
Kate is there also. They're in art history class together. I didn't see this coming.
Right.
Because I don't know much about William and Kate. Like, I
Okay.
just don't know much about it. I have not followed it.
I don't know a
So
ton. I mean, I know they met in college though.
yeah, I didn't
That I
know
know.
this.
Yeah.
So now Will and his bros are chilling and they see Kate. And Will has her number because they're in the same class. Then
Mhm.
later we see him on the phone with Harry, who's like, you need to bang your way through university. Like, what are you doing? See, I can interpret teenagers well, I feel
Yes,
like.
you can. You can. I want to take one question though. So they
Yes.
said during the art history class that, like in the syllabus was everyone's phone number and
Mhm.
stuff.
Did they put his in there?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Like, are we willy-nilly handing out William's phone number
I bet he
to
has like a burner
classmates?
phone for school.
He might. Yeah,
Mhm.
something. I just thought that was interesting. Like, yes, he obviously has a bodyguard with him all the time. Sort of like if a president's kid goes to college, they have a Secret Service person
Yeah.
with them all the time.
Yep.
I get that. And generally speaking, people in those roles like leave the kids alone to let them go be kids. They're
Yeah,
just
because
keeping them safe.
unlike the teenagers who recognized Diana and Dodie and attacked them in Monte Carlo,
Right.
teenagers aren't supposed to really care about shit like this.
No.
They don't care about royals.
No.
They just don't. So he's not, like I said, Harry's like, you need to bang your way through university. What are you doing? You can't let me down. And this inspires Will to start attending some parties. And now we see him. He's out at these parties. He's making out with some chick. He takes her back to his room. Then they're seeing each other for a little bit, and Kate even sees them making out in the street. So we have this like setup of Kate, the lonely, like hardworking waitress, slinging dishes in a restaurant. She looks out, and
Right.
William's like making out with this princess in
And she's like,
the road in the rain. Yeah. So even though Will is dating this princessy girl,
mhm.
he has eyes for Kate.
Yeah, he
He's
does.
got eyes on Kate. Mhm. So
Seems like
now
everyone has eyes on Kate.
yes.
Yeah.
And she is beautiful.
She's stunning. She's
Now,
stunning.
I wanna say something.
Okay.
Although I have a little note here that they really kind of make Kate seem like she is from a lower class family.
Mhm.
She's not,
No.
but we'll talk about that later. Okay.
But she's not a royal, so that's
She's not a royal, but
yeah.
she's not hurting.
No.
Here, I
No.
have it here. Although the princess was technically a commoner prior to marrying Prince William, she comes from a wealthy family. The Middletons own a popular party supply business called Party Pieces, and their shared net worth is about $50 million. So
Oh,
they're okay.
they're doing fine.
They're doing
They're
okay.
just fine.
So now William goes to the library for a few books for the art class, and Kate, of course, has already taken them. Peter Morgan, come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Get it together.
Kate's already signed them out, so now he has to find Kate.
Right. Do better.
Mm-hmm. He sees her in the library, heads over to talk, and she's like, here, just take my essay and copy it. Who gives a fuck about copyright infringement or plagiarism? Who cares?
How much did that enrage the college professor still inside of you?
Yeah, I was like, real nice, Kate.
Yeah.
So they discover that Kate is one room over him, and God only knows what she's been hearing.
Right. Because he's banging his way through university.
Right. She tells him that she was in Chile doing the same expedition that he was.
This is
Getting weird. Now Lola, the girlfriend, the princessy one that he's been making out with on the street, heads over and she interrupts them, and it's all aggro and it's weird.
Yeah.
She's like, "What the fuck you doing here? Who's this?
Why are you talking to this
slut?" Like,
bitch?
yeah, it's real weird.
Yeah.
And
he's like, we have art history together.
Three of them are arguing, and the librarian tries to shush them, like every proper librarian should.
Yep.
And Will yells at her. He's like, "Shut the fuck up! Do you know?" Like, okay, maybe he doesn't do that, but he's like, "Leave me alone! Leave me alone!"
Oh my god.
And Kate's like, "Wow, that was like ragey and weird, and I'm leaving now."
It wasn't a good look for him.
So now Raisin Weekend is a big first year thing, and Will doesn't want to go, but his bros are hassling him. "Why aren't you going? Kate's gonna be there. She might be in a bikini. Who knows?" And we learn that
around in a bikini.
We learned that he is. I don't know how bros talk or think.
Maybe they want to go back to the showers, like they did at Eton. Oh god,
Eating that hotbed of homosexuality. So we learn that he has broken up with Lola, and he's going to go out to Balmoral to hunt with the family instead of going this Raisin Weekend. So they're out there in this like pastoral scene, and they're, hunting and killing shit and whatever they're doing. And Will and Harry start drinking, and one of the bros calls, and he's like, You're missing out, dude. Kate is here. She's getting hit on from all sides. It's like the hottest piece of ass ever. I almost said from Arlington, Texas, or wherever.
That's what I was gonna say too. She and Kevin.
So Will gets back to school, and he sees Kate literally walking with an adorable boyfriend.
Right.
And the ball's on this guy, William, to just go up to her and be like, "Oh, excuse me, I'm going to Prince here for a second. Okay, listen, leave me alone." He's like,
I'm second in line for the throne. Excuse me.
Yeah. He's like, "Fuck off."
Right.
And he says, "I'm sorry I behaved like an asshole. I'm done with Lola." And this boyfriend is like, can we move on here?
She my girlfriend.
Yes. Okay. So at home for the holidays, Will is like, "Guess what, guys? I don't love college. Not digging it. Not digging it. The art history program just isn't quite doing it for him." And then Harry spills the beans that Will has some trouble with his love life.
Yeah, it's really about the ladies for him. It's not art history.
Harry is like a ball of hormones.
Oh, I know. He is horned up.
He's horned up. So later, Mummy, comes into Will's room, and they have a really cute moment and like a cute conversation about dating and stalking. She's like, "Don't lose faith, chase after this girl." And he's like, "Grammy, that's stalking. I can't do that." Then she says, "Do not lose faith. What is meant for you won't pass you by." And he says, "Yeah, I'm going to make sure of that, and I'm going to land me some Kate." So like whatever she says to him puts it in his brain that this is his destiny.
So whatever's meant for you will come to you. That's a great sentiment. What about
For
Charles
rich
and
white
Camilla?
guys.
What about Charles and Camilla? Granny?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
go on.
Hey everyone, stay tuned. Little Miss Recap will be right back after these words. Okay. So now we're at Kate's house.
Mhm.
Kate brings home this floppy-haired poet. His name is Rupert. He's everything
That Amy
20-year-old
wants.
Amy would have wanted.
Yes. British, a poet,
He
floppy.
probably plays guitar. Not putting
Of
it
course
past
he
him.
does.
He's charming the pants off her family. Everyone loves Rupert. Rupert is the hit. And everyone except Mom. Mom's not
having it. He's not William.
Mom is watching as Kate walks Rupert out and they have a fight. She comes in and she and Kate have this big fight. And Kate's like, you wanted me to go to St. Andrews after a gap year. You wanted me to scrub toilets in Botswana. You wanted me, I don't know, doing something in Chile. Exactly like William. And Mom basically says, I think you're special and I think you are worthy of marrying a prince. Again, Mom, why weren't you saying these things to me?
Well, because you had Tommy Lee on your wall.
There's part of me that would still marry Tommy Lee. You give me one Gen X woman that would not bang Tommy Lee. You? Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay.
No.
All right. Guys, come at me, please. Would you or would you not throw Tommy Lee a bang? If you know, all other circumstances removed, you're not married, you don't
You
have
can do whatever you want. You're a
spouses.
free agent.
Yes.
Are
I
you
wouldn't
Team
even need,
Amy? Bang. Team Amanda? Hard pass.
I wouldn't even need a glass of wine. Not one.
Wow.
Okay. I might need 17 bottles of water though after watching that sex tape. Okay. So Kate is like, what about what I want? And Mom says, look, if you like Finchy, that's another thing. He has a great nickname.
Right.
I want to read Finchy's poetry. It's probably great.
I bet his name is Rupert Finch.
She's like, if I need to find him. Amy needs to find him. So Mom says, if you want to be with Finchy, then be with him. But if you're going with Finchy because you're trying to make a point to me, don't do it. And then she goes, BT Dubs, I heard William's miserable and wants to leave uni.
Just so you know. This just bugs me how calculated this feels.
I agree.
It's weird.
So now we're at Windsor and Margaret is playing a Christmas waltz and it's absolutely one of my favorite Christmas songs. Do you love it?
Yeah.
Sung originally by Frank Sinatra, who had it written for him, but Doris Day has an amazing version. That's the one we're most familiar with.
And that was used in an episode of Mad Men when Joan and Don danced.
Yes.
And they flirted, but they flirted in such a respectful way because Don would never have gone there.
Yes.
Because he had too much respect for her.
Did he, though?
I think he had respect for Joan.
He hurt her.
He did. But I do think he had respect for her.
Okay. So outside, Harry and William have a chat. And Harry basically says, look, I'm the fuck up of this family. I'm passing out condoms. I'm bartending. I'm telling the press to fuck off. I got a lot going on over here.
There's only room for one of us, and I am taking that role here. So I'm going to need you to get it together, please. Thank you very much.
Like, you need to keep it straight. He's like, Pa found weed on me. Now I'm going to a treatment center. Like, I don't know what's happening. Like, typical little Sib is having a complete breakdown. And Big Sib's like, I'm living my best life.
Right?
So,
found weed, now I'm going to rehab.
So the episode ends with William lying in bed and Kate texting him on his burner phone, telling him, please do. And it's one of those Nokias that he's got like scroll through. And it's like, please do not leave uni. And there's like an X and an O or a heart or something. And it says Kate. That's how it ends.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. Wow, I did that in 20 minutes.
That went really fast. We don't usually do these quite so quickly.
Okay.
But also not a lot happened.
Not a lot happened. But I wanted to talk about Meg Bellamy, who plays Kate.
Okay, let's talk about Meg Bellamy. She's beautiful.
She's
Oops.
beautiful, but she's not a good actress.
No, she's not a great actress at
I'm
all.
like, who is this person? Because I don't think she's a great actress. She's good, but
Yeah.
is she Crown good?
No.
Or is she Suits good? Do you know what I'm saying? There's a difference.
I know what you're
Okay.
saying. Uh-huh.
So I looked her up, and apparently this is her first role.
Holy shit.
She was working at Legoland when she was chosen to play Britain's future queen in the Netflix series.
Legoland? She was working at Legoland?
Yes. Isn't that weird? So, like,
That
my
is really
instincts
fucking
were
weird.
right. I'm like, she is not matching the level of acting in the rest of this
She's
series.
not a trained actor.
No, something's happening. So that's the dish on her. Now,
Okay.
for my little deep dive, I just did Kate really meet Princess Diana on that street?
Okay.
So,
Cool.
by all accounts, I'm going to open this People magazine because I have a note here to myself. Please read the weird quote from William in this article. Okay.
Okay.
So, this is from, how do you say, People magazine. Le People.
People.
This is from People magazine. It's Did Kate Middleton really meet Princess Diana? Fact checking that scene in The Crown. So, all right, here's what we have. In episode 7, Alma Mater, a flashback takes viewers back to December 1996 before her death. In the scene, Diana is selling The Big Issue magazine for charity alongside her son, Princess William. A young Kate and her mother, Carol Middleton, are holiday dress shopping and they run into each other. Okay, so how accurate is it? Despite what is portrayed in The Crown, Princess Kate sadly never had a chance to meet her mother-in-law. This is something both Kate and William have spoken about. Following his 2011 royal wedding to Kate, William recalled how his mother's absence from his special day was very difficult. Okay, so she never met her. Okay. Despite her absence, William noted that his mother would have loved the day, adding, I think hopefully she'd be very proud. I'm very sad that she never had a chance to meet Kate. Years later, Princess Kate also reflected on never getting to meet Princess Diana. She talked about their shared engagement ring. Now I want to talk to you about this.
Okay.
It just goes on to say she never had it resized. Okay. How do you feel about this ring in particular being given to Kate, considering Charles and Diana's relationship?
I don't have a problem with it because I think it's not so much about their relationship so much as it was his mother's ring. You know, and
Okay, that's fair.
And it's certainly common. It's not uncommon.
It's not uncommon. It's
to
not
use the ring
uncommon,
of your
but
parents. I think it was much more about the fact that he wanted to give Kate something of his mother's versus this is some symbol of my parents who
like,
weren't
let me
really
ask you a
married.
question.
Yeah.
Your parents divorced, my parents
Correct.
divorced. How would you feel about your mother giving you her wedding ring, her diamond from your father, if she had
Well,
one?
she never got one.
Okay.
She never got
My
one.
mom
So,
didn't have one either, so.
well, my dad actually got my mom a bracelet as an engagement gift. It's beautiful. It's this gold bracelet with this etching on it and it has her initials on it.
Yeah.
I actually have it now. I actually wore it at all 3 of my weddings. Just because I wanted to have that piece of her and them. You know, it's interesting. Like, I can't imagine my parents married. That's just, it's so
But
strange
that
to me
in
because
a
I was so
way,
young.
but in a way that plays out differently for you because you also don't remember
Right.
the
Bad
bad
time.
of their
Right.
marriage. Right.
No.
That's
So I
interesting.
can think, I don't really think much about their marriage other than they had me and they were both super psyched about that.
Right.
So
Right. That's interesting.
Yeah. What about you? If you got your mother's.
No, my mom was 17, my dad was 19 when they got married, so they had no diamond ring.
Sure.
But so I never had to make that decision. But I will tell you that both of my grandmothers have given me their diamonds.
Okay.
And my dad's mother had a horrible marriage. That's the one where he had 2 families. We had to have 2 funerals. Okay.
Right.
Her ring was nice. I mean, it was, both diamonds were very tiny because we just don't have a lot of money in my family. And I lost her ring.
Oh.
And like, how do you tell your dad that you lost his dead mother's engagement ring that he gave you?
You don't.
And my dad was just like, "Okay, all
Oh,
right, let's move
okay.
on."
Okay, he
I
wasn't really
know that I
surprised.
wore it to the hospital when I was having the girls,
Ah,
because I
okay.
went unexpectedly from a doctor's appointment.
Right.
So I know I had it on. I know I took it off because I was going in surgery, you have to take all your
Yep.
jewelry off. Never got it back. Don't know where it is.
Oh, wow, that
Mhm.
sucks. That sucks.
I have my Graham's ring, which I love and I
Mhm.
treasure. It's a speck of a diamond,
Okay.
literally a little tiny speck. Um, and that I think means a lot to me, and I would pass that down to my girls. I don't have my own diamond ring either,
Okay.
because again, poor.
Right.
So yeah, that's I don't know, but I'm like weird about rings that are associated with really bad marriages.
Hmm. Interesting. I have my grandfather's wedding ring.
Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah, my dad gave it to me. I don't know when he gave it to me,
Hmm.
but I actually asked Todd if he would want to wear it as
Mm-hmm.
his wedding ring, but it just really wasn't his style. So,
Yeah. My mom has her father's.
mhm.
My grandpa's.
I
Yeah.
occasionally wear it as a thumb ring because it fits my thumb.
Is it gold?
Hmm.
Of course it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's gold.
Yeah. So's my grandfather's.
Yeah,
So that's been wedding ring corner.
right.
So there's
And
that.
I don't have a diamond for my marriage. I have a sapphire, but it's a lab made
Yeah.
sapphire.
Stephanie has something different too. I forget what she
Mhm.
has. It's
I didn't
not a
want a
diamond.
diamond. I
Yeah.
didn't. I wanted something lab created on purpose. A, it's a hell of a lot cheaper,
Mm-hmm.
and B, I didn't
It's
want small
better.
children to die
Yeah.
in the
Mm-hmm.
making of something pretty for me. This is
I
pretty.
have Timmy and I, when we found out we were getting married, we went to
When
Zales
we
and
found out we were getting married.
we put that's literally what happened.
I know.
We went to Zales and we put two like $50 wedding bands on a credit card.
Right.
I
Right.
still have that wedding band and I love it so much. And since I got my tattoo, I don't wear it. And it
Mm.
bothers me that I don't wear it because I
Oh,
loved it. So I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I'm going to incorporate it, I think, again. I just don't know how.
what if you wore it on your right hand?
Yeah, I'm thinking of wearing it on a different hand,
Yeah.
something. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So now Timmy's mom has a nice diamond
Does she?
that I'm sure she'll pass down to one of the grandkids or something eventually.
Yeah.
That his father bought her. They were married 60 years. He got it for her, I want to say like on their 25th
Okay.
anniversary. So again, poor, didn't have it from the beginning,
Right. But
but
later in life, when he
yeah,
had it, he
yeah,
did something.
yep.
Are your girls the oldest grandchildren of Timmy's parents?
No,
No. Okay.
mm-mm. They're almost the youngest.
Oh
She
wow.
has,
Okay.
she has 10 grandchildren and 3 are younger than my girls.
Okay. Is Timmy the old? I was in my brain. I
Timmy's
always
the
thought Timmy was.
baby.
Oh, I always thought Timmy was the oldest in my brain, which is why I
No,
thought then.
no, he has a brother and sister who are 13 and 11 years older than him and his twin.
Oh wow. Okay.
Second family sitch. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Got it.
I
Got
mean,
it.
same parents, but it was
Right.
like, oops, second
Oops.
family.
Now we're doing this all again.
Guys, come at us and tell us, like, do you believe in the weird energy around wedding rings from people who've been divorced, or do you
Yeah.
think it's more of a representation of the person? I like that idea.
Yeah. I think that's how I see it, and I love my mom's engagement bracelet because it's the
It's
symbol
her.
of her, and
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
So
I have to say, my parents were married 25 years, and like I've said many times on this podcast, they did not have a very, contentious divorce at all.
mhm. They just weren't
Um,
happy.
if my mother had given me a diamond, I probably would have worn it.
Yeah.
Like I would have
Yeah.
taken it. She just didn't have one.
So your mother remarried and divorced, correct?
Yes. Now she has the ring from that wedding. I'm like, no, thanks.
Yeah. No, because that has nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
But did your mother's second husband have to figure out if your father was a good man?
Cody Brown style.
Cody Brown style.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
In
In order for her to justify leaving, he had to
leaving.
make sure she didn't leave a good man.
That's right. You can't leave a good man because why would
Mhm.
anyone leave a good man? What does that say about you?
Yes. Yes. Very nice,
Fucking
Amanda.
idiots. These fucking idiots.
All right, guys, if you haven't already, check out our Facebook group, Backdoor Friends. Find us on Instagram. We're building a little presence there. Very
Yay.
excited. I've
doing
been
good
putting
stuff
a
there.
lot of Canva hours into this.
I love it.
And share the podcast. Leave us a review. We like to hear from all of you. And that's it. That's all I got to say.
That's it. Next episode is a great one. That's the one about Margaret. So we'll have a lot to talk about there.
I'm gonna cry.
Okay, that's fine. I
'Cause
have
I
to do
cried
the notes,
watching
so
it.
you won't cry.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can cry. I won't get, because I have cold dead heart, so I won't cry. but I'll get us through it.
I cried watching it, and I'm probably going to have to say something nice about my sister.
It's okay.
So brace yourselves, guys. It's coming.
Okay. It's okay.
All right, everyone. Thank you, and we'll see you soon.
Take care, everyone.